Hi, my name is Julie Jackson, and my friends call me Juju. And welcome to my Patreon account. This is sort of an introductory video. This is a very big kind of moment for me because I am very used to being behind the camera, behind the scenes, and well, here I am, right in front. The genesis of this has really been this year. Couple months ago, for the very first time ever, I taught my model, which my documentary model is called DocuReach, and teaching it for the first time was a kind of a big moment of transition of wow, I really have a lot of experience and I have a lot of information and knowledge that I want to share. And so this is the beginning of that journey of sharing. And for those of you who don't know me, I have a very interesting background. My path to filmmaking was not a linear one. Well, I mean, I guess if I go back to when I was a little kid, I actually wanted to be a writer. That was the very first job that I wanted when I was a little kid, and people would ask me. But I very quickly moved into wanting to be a lawyer and then a doctor. And I was a military brat. My dad was in the Air Force, and so I grew up moving every few years and lived in England. That was a very formative time for me. I actually started elementary school in the UK, and I used to have quite a great little British accent, and that really informed who I am. Growing up in the military, which is a lovely bubble of equity, in that my best friend was Ratana. Her name was Ratana. She was Thai, and Calvin, who was African American. So, we had a very diverse group of friends, and we all lived on the same cul-de-sac, and our dads literally made the same amount of money because our dads were all enlisted. And I kind of had this false sense of equity that I was sort of shocked once I graduated and graduated high school and went out in the world and started to realize that that was not equity that everybody had. And so that foundation, I think, was really transformative for me and my mindset and how I look at things and that I look at the planet. I ended up going to college in Belgium, Brussels, Belgium, and I started off going to a French school, UNB, the University of Brussels, in French, and biochemistry and medical science classes were really hard in French. Because at that time I thought I wanted to be a doctor. I quickly left that after about a year. I transferred to VUB, which is the Flemish version of Brussels University, and I went to school in English. It was a liberal arts school, and I ended up majoring in economics, but I started a theater company and did a lot of one-act plays and improv nights. And so I feel like I got sort of an unofficial theater degree alongside my international affairs and economics degree. And I feel like that for me was very formative on how I look at the planet. I mean, it's really holistic in that we're all humans. We have different cultures and different food and different habits, but ultimately the thread of humanity, there's so many things that are similar in everyone. And that is something that I always look for. And anyway, that's a little bit about my background. Then I basically wanted to make films, and it was really hard to make a low budget film in the late 90s. And so I started down the path of documentary, and I made documentaries for 10 years at a nonprofit that I started and ran with a business partner. Did that for 10 years, worked at PBS for 10 years, have won many of these. I have sort of honed the craft, and I'm very excited to share it with you. A little bit about me personally. I love the outdoors. I love gardening. I love yoga, rollerblading, mountain biking, skiing, and I live in gorgeous Colorado. I also paint and I write. This year, I've really come to realize my purpose is to connect humanity through stories and through experiences and through products that help people connect to themselves and to each other. Julie Spear Productions has been in existence since 2009, and this space is going to be where and how I share my tips and tricks for filmmaking. That's enough about me for now, and we'll talk to you soon.